New Artist Spotlight Podcast.
Welcome everybody to a new episode of the New Artist Spotlight Podcast. I am Wilko Wilkes and I'm on my own again today, but it's okay. I'm not really alone because I've got a fantastic guest who I've been looking forward to speaking to for a long time. Mixed Reaction, how are you doing, mate? Welcome.
Good, mate. How are you going?
I'm good, man. Yeah. How are you going? That's the first Aussieism that you've managed to get in.
Doesn't take long. I'm very Aussie, mate. Yes.
Yeah, I love it, mate. So that's why it's taken so long to arrange this, really, isn't it? Because you're on the other side of the world to me. Usually, I'm not used to this. Usually, I'm doing the podcasts at like 8 p.m. on a Sunday evening, but right now it's 9 a.m. here.
That's right, and it's 8 p.m. here. It's good to finally actually talk to you, mate.
I know, mate. Yeah, likewise. Good to meet you in the flesh. Not in the flesh, but here you are right in front of me. I'm starstruck.
Cyber flesh.
The cyber flesh. Yeah, I love it. So tell us about yourself and your music in your own words.
Well, I started making music to go online nearly 3 years ago now, because I looked up an old mate of mine from years ago who's a bit older than me, and found that he'd actually done pretty well for himself in music. He was in a band called Karma County, which is not a huge band in Australia, but it's known. And I thought, well, if he can do that, I'll have I looked him up, had a chat with him, and I thought, well, gee, maybe I can do that too. And so then I went and saw a local studio guy, which is unusual for there to be a local studio around here because I'm not in a capital city. I'm on the central coast of New South Wales. And he's like a 5-minute walk from me, which was just amazing. And Simon Dobson is the guy there who owns the place, and he's just such a brilliant guy. And we did my first 5 songs together, and he made them sound even better than they sounded in my head before I could hear what they sounded like out loud. And that just did it for me. I was just like, I have to keep doing this, even though I can't afford to pay him to do it. Now I've got to release my own stuff and produce it and do all the mixing stuff. So that was a bit of a learning curve. I'm still learning. Ideally, I'd like to have my music more polished than it's coming out, but I've got to release it just because I feel like I have to. Otherwise, I'm going to explode,
Yeah, no, it sounds really good, man. I think it does sound quite polished. Did you mix that whole album? What's it called? Soothing Seascapes. That's all instrumental, isn't it? Did you mix that yourself?
Yeah. I found that a lot easier because normally what I'm doing is I'm recording actual instruments, like guitars and drums and all that kind of stuff. With Soothing Seascapes, that's just like an ambient album, and so I actually started it off with AI. So I get AI to start it off, then I'd add instruments to it. I'd put a vocal to most of them, but I wasn't always singing. It might be just and then a lot of reverb and stuff like that. So I found that heaps easier to mix and produce because I wasn't having to get rid of crackles from leads and different things like that. So, yeah. And it actually came out much better than I thought it would, that one. So,
yeah, it sounds class, man. Yeah, and I know the struggle of trying to get rid of the crackles and trying to learn it all yourself as well. I'm the same. It's a similar situation as well. It's like you realise, I don't know. It's a trade-off, isn't it? Because you end up spending a lot more time on each song that you could be working on the next song. But yeah, I feel I don't know about you. I find it really interesting and enjoyable, like doing the actual production.
I find it better now. When I first started doing it, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I found the easiest door I could find, which was BandLab, which is just on web. And because I've only ever, years ago when I was playing in a band, I've got a little 4-track recorder, which is all old school, and you plug into that and you do this, and I know what I'm doing. But with things like Fruity Loops or FL and stuff, it's like you're looking at a whole different world of stuff, and I don't need all the loops and different things. That's not what I do. So for me, with BandLab, that's more like the old 4-track kind of thing where I plug something in, I record it, and then I was able to, as I go along, just learn a little bit more as I go. NAS has been great for that. There's a whole chat group for mixing and mastering and stuff. I go in there and ask a question, and Andre especially has been really helpful with different stuff in there. But everyone who gets in there gives me something that I didn't know before. But the other day, I think it was Andre again who I was telling him I was having trouble keeping my electric guitar in tune, and he told me to put some graphite on it, and it worked. And I said, "How does that work?" Amazing, all the little tips and tricks that you pick up.
Yeah, I've never heard that before. Yeah, that's mad. And yeah, it's one of those realms, isn't it, where you can have a problem, you ask a question, and the answer leaves you more confused than you were before you asked.
Well, that happens a lot, especially on the internet. I have a problem with something. I go and look for an answer. I Google the answer. It says, go to this place. Well, that place doesn't exist. So then I've got to Google, where's that place? Oh, yeah, that's here. And they'll get a bit further. No, I can't find something else. Google that. It's like, it takes me forever. But I am enjoying it. When it starts to work and starts to come together, then it makes me really happy. So I've learned so much in a short time about mixing stuff that I'm now at a place where I'm happy with what I'm bringing out. It's still not as polished as I want it to be, but it works for my kind of style. I don't know what my style is. I just made that up.
Yeah.
But
styles.
Yeah, for me, it just, yeah, I'm happy enough with it, and that's all I really wanted when I started, was to hear what my music sounded like when it was all recorded properly on digital stuff, rather than a 4-track where you just get more and more noise the more things that you record. And that was really all I ever expected. I never expected to find a group like NAS and have my song heard by people. Before I joined up, I would have been lucky to get 30 plays a week, and that was friends, family, that kind of stuff.
Yourself.
Which would have gradually, they would have got sick of that, and that would have worn down. But yeah, the amount of plays and people, I know that people outside of NAS are listening now, because the Spotify algo has picked up on us getting plays and people supporting it and stuff, and so then it starts to recommend it to other people. So
yeah, I've noticed you've got like 5,000 plus monthly listeners, which is really good.
Yeah, I was blown away with that. It's I'm blown away with every new milestone that comes up. I just go, I never thought that anyone outside of people I knew were going to really hear my music, because it's just, there's so much music out there. This is for me. It's not for anyone else to really hear, but it would be good if they do. And so, each time something like that happens, where I get 5,000 people listening, and I just go, that's fantastic. I can't believe it. See if I can push it a little bit more. So
awesome.
although I'm so happy with where I'm at with my music, it doesn't mean I'm not going to just keep pushing it, because that's actually, I probably do more pushing of my music than I do actual music, and that's probably the same for all of us, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's an unfortunate part, really, but that's my opinion anyway. I don't really enjoy the marketing side of things. But I suspect that you finish songs a lot quicker than I do as well, because you've got quite a lot of songs on your Spotify. especially for only 3 years worth?
Well, the thing is that I've been writing music since I was about 12. And so I've got 40 years of stuff written. And so that's the hard part, I think, to write the stuff. And then actually recording it and getting it out there and stuff. I had a count the other day. I've got 12 songs ready to go that haven't come out yet, and another 3 that are just about finished. And I'm going, I can't get them out quick enough, because if I bring one out once a week, people are just going, oh, I'm not listening to that anymore. And if you bring out an album, it's sort of hard, because stuff that you want people to listen to, they may not hear. And so it's, I want to bring it out. I mean, I'm going to be 60 this year. So who knows how long I've got to get this stuff out. And I just want to get it out there. So,
Is your health good at the moment?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Aside from being overweight and all that kind of stuff. And
I know that feeling, man. I think a lot of us know that.
I was skinny up until till about 30, I think.
Right. It's easily done, man. It's those pies.
Yes.
I just remembered I meant to make a pun and say thanks very much for coming on today, but I forgot to. So I'm not doing it.
That's actually the song which has done the best of everything that I've put out, which didn't exist when I first went to the studio to start recording, and it just came into my head a bit, because I'd always had this idea. I'd hate people coming to my door to sell me stuff. It just drives me mad, especially because they won't just, you say, no, thanks. And they go, oh yeah, but no, I don't want it, whatever it is. I don't want, especially the religious ones are the worst, because they want to tell me that their particular God's the right one and I should be with them. And so I've always had it in my head that I'd put a sign up on the door which said, no sales, no surveys, no saviours. But my good partner didn't think that was such a good idea. So it's just been, so it came out as a song instead.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
You're putting the will to rights through your music. And that's really cool, man, having so many songs. Are you releasing songs that you wrote 30, 40 years ago?
Yeah, mainly they are. But then every now and then something comes up that I just think about, usually in my thinking place on the toilet. That's where I come up with the best stuff. But also,
like everybody else, glued to your phone. No?
But then I'm doing a lot of collabs with people, which is another thing I never thought I'd be doing. All over the world, I'm collabing with people, and so a lot of that will be their people who can write music, but not necessarily lyrics, and they can't sing. And so that's where we can come together, because I can write the lyrics and I can sing. And so there's a lot of new stuff coming out that way. And there's also other stuff that I think of from time to time. I like to put a bit of humour into a lot of the songs.
I've noticed.
Some of them are probably funnier than others. But even a serious song, I like to just sort of play with words and do bits and pieces like that, because the songs that I like the best that other people produce and write and all that kind of stuff are ones with good lyrics. I mean, I like the music to be good, but when they have lyrics which are clever or poignant, or just have something that clicks, that really brings it home to me, because I'm always listening to the lyrics of songs. That's the main thing,
man. I know I find it strange when people aren't like that, but I know a lot of people just don't really they don't really care about lyrical content or whatever, and I suppose we're all different. But for me, I can listen to a new song and I can absolutely love the first 2 minutes of it, and then they'll say one sentence that I'm a bit like, how do I like, and I'm never going to listen to that song again because every time that lyric's just going to, I mean.
But I can tell you're into the lyrics just by listening to your songs, because it comes through obviously that you must.
That's all I can do, mate. That's the easy part for me is the lyrics, and then well, not the easy, but yeah, that's probably where my skill lies, because I don't play any instruments and I'm not really a master producer either. But yeah, I do love writing. What's your favorite part of the whole process?
I do like the lyrics, but I found I used to have like a set way that I would write a song where I just sit down with a guitar, pen and paper, and away I'd go. But since we've got more of the technology now, I can sit down with a MIDI keyboard and just fiddle away and play and see what comes out. And then if anything sounds good, I keep it. If it doesn't, then I don't worry about it. And with stuff that I do collabs with people, if they send me some music, the way I do it is I just, if I'm going to write the lyrics and sing it, is I just put it on and record, and I just ad lib along with it. And I'm lucky in the way that I can do that because, contrary to what I'm doing now, I'm quite good with words. So when I get to write them down, I'm happy to say that I can do that, and I can just go, all right, and I'll start off and I won't know what the song is about, and I'll just start, and something in there will be okay. And so then I can go back, take that piece and work out what the rest of the song is going to be from there. So, yeah. I feel really glad that I can do that, because it makes me really happy that something has literally just come from nowhere and now it's music.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. And then it's immortalized as well. What was I going to say then? Oh, yeah, about the collabs. You've mentioned a few collabs. So me and you were on the same album recently, Water Rise. So I enjoyed that, and I've listened to a lot of your collabs. You did one with SRV Music Maker as well, didn't you? Which I really like.
The Game of Life.
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones I did, and actually, Water Rise was the first one.
Was it? When was that then?
But it just took about a year for it to come together,
right?
Until he released it. So others came out before then, but that was the first one that I started on, and that was great in teaching me how to collaborate with someone and get things, when you're sending stuff back and forth over the internet, and especially because we don't speak the same language either. And so, I had to explain certain things to him. There's a part in the song where he says he wrote the lyrics saying that he likes to feel the wind in his face when he's riding his motorbike. But when he was singing it, he was saying the wind. So I like to feel the wind in my face, and he liked the way that sounded. Well, it sounds nice, but it's not going to work because it's not how it is in English. And so it was good doing that, because I've also collaborated with other people who don't really speak English, and I've been able to help out in that way too. So I always like being able to, give people a little bit of a hand on what they want to do, because so many people have helped me in my musical journey. It's nice to give something back. Yeah,
that's good, man. And it's nice as well. Like, I don't know about you, but I think you seem to me like you might have a similar mindset where I'm so grateful just for the opportunity to be able to do this stuff now. Like, I know there's a lot of downsides to technology, but the fact that we can just collab from an artist halfway around the world and put out music without having to have a label and just kind of share everything, I think is just an amazing development.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah. It's not that long ago that it would have been impossible.
Yeah, man. So you've been writing songs since you're 12. I know you're a really good guitarist as well, because I've seen some of the acoustic videos that you put on where you're doing covers and doing your own songs, and I love listening to the way you strum that guitar, man. Is you produce a real full sound from it. How many instruments do you play, and what's your kind of relationship with that?
Well, I play acoustic guitar. Is my best instrument and my favourite to play. I've got I can strum nicely, but the left hand, I taught myself to play, so I did a lot of cheats. I didn't know. So to play a G chord, you use these 3 fingers and do this and the 4 fingers. And I just go, well, if you just do that, that sounds right. And so I taught myself badly, which means it makes it awkward to change between chords. A lot of the chords on a guitar seem to be designed so that you can smoothly move. Like, so you're using your little finger to do this, and then it makes it easier to move to another chord. I hardly ever use this finger because I'm lazy. So I only play chords that are easy to play. And so I'm a bit of a cheat on guitar and a bit of a cheat on everything that I play, because I kind of get to the point where, I can do this now, and then I stop trying. So yeah, I can play guitar, drums. I started playing drums first. It's an interesting story. My father actually had a really good friend who was a jazz drummer, and he lent me his drums for about a year, because buying a set of drums and then having a kid who goes, this is nice for 5 minutes, and then doesn't like them anymore, would be an expensive thing. So I thought, we'll try it out and see if he likes it. And I loved it. I love playing drums. It's just so good to get rid of frustration, and it's
therapeutic.
Good exercise too. And so yeah, so I can play drums to an extent, and bass and a little bit of keyboards. I can, if I've got enough takes and stuff, then I'll make something that sounds okay. I wouldn't want to play them live, because it'd be all and hitting 3 notes at once and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, vocals is what I really like. I've started playing guitar, so I had something to sing along with.
Yeah, that's cool. That's why I'd love to play guitar or piano in my head. I think one day I'd like to just be able to play and sing, sort of to mask the vulnerability of when you're just singing on your own, I think. Yeah,
I guess that's because I only ever played in like a bands before. And so you've always got your mates with you. As I'm always dreadful with remembering the first line of a song. Once I got going, I'll be fine.
You wait for everyone else to play it.
So that the intros tended to go on for a bit, so I'm trying to remember it. I wander over to the lead guitarist and go, "What's the first line of this song?" So yeah, you've got someone else who can help you when you're having a problem. And so yeah, but a lot of people like to do it on their own as well. Everyone's an individual.
It's brave. So do you know my favourite song of Mixed Reaction?
Thanks.
I like that song, but that's not the favourite. My top song. Do you want another guess?
My favourite of my songs is Incredible to Me Now.
Ah, yeah, I do like that song as well. That's a good one, man. But my favourite is The Book of Truths. I love that song, man.
Okay.
Yeah, class. Okay. So which of your songs are we going to play today? Would you like to do the honours of giving it the big radio introduction?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Mixed Reaction with Overruled by My Libido again.
Another Tinder date seems to be going fine. Had a great meal and just a little bit too much wine. It's only now I see the ring upon her finger, and that's a sure sign that I should not leave. certain and I can't quit. I met a girl who danced like she knew how to use it. And turns out she could. She was a favorite of a pimp. She said, you gotta pay or you'll be leaving here with a limp. My head says no. My heart says I don't think so. Overruled by my libido again. My head says no. My heart says I don't think so. Overruled by my libido again. Another party, a couple of Kardashians there, commanding my attention. One of them started to stare. I don't know which one. Drinking Moeen Ball. I can't really tell the difference. They're all just babushka dolls. My head said no. My heart said I don't think so. My libido said, give me a minute. Let me think about it. Okay. Overruled. Again. My head said no. My heart says I don't think so. Overruled by my libido again. My head says no. My heart says I don't think so. Overruled by my libido again. My head says no. My heart says I don't think so. Overruled by my libido again. Just wait a sec. We're going to get these lights in the right place. Set up the camera. There's 4 production guys outside. Overruled.
Yeah, thank you for letting us play that, man. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, always love the humour in your songs. Also, I noticed a bit of humour in your Spotify profile earlier on when I was having a look. And I found myself Googling a Latin phrase at the start of your audio. And then I thought, he's got me.
I was wondering if it would.
Yeah, you got me, man. I wonder how many other people have been spiked by that, but I love it. I love that sort of humour.
Nobody's told me yet, except for you.
yeah, maybe it's just me. Yeah. So, I don't know if you are familiar with some of the traditions on this podcast, but if you're starting to feel a bit of a chill down your spine and a general air of darkness in the oxygen you breathe.
I can feel it. Yeah.
That's right. It is the devious, devilish, evil Quickfire 5. And do you know the rules?
I believe I do. I've watched your shows often enough.
So you've got 15
dramatic sting. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, man. Any more than 15 seconds answered on any of these questions, and unfortunately, you will have all your bank accounts stripped. You'll be deleted from Spotify, and you'll be given a new name and sent to live under the sea. With
Ringo?
No, with like some really annoying lobsters that keep pinching you for the rest of the day. Yeah, no, you can't have Ringo. Come on, man. That's not punishment. So, question 1 is, what is your favourite song of all time?
You haven't asked that one before. I don't really have a favourite song because it changes all the time. it would be a Beatles song. And I don't really have a favourite, but I would go with While My Guitar Gently Weeps, George Harrison song. It's beautiful.
Great pick. Love it. Question 2. What is the best gig you've ever been to?
Probably the first gig I ever went to, which was a whole lot of bands on the steps of the Sydney Opera House. So there was, I don't know if you even know any of these bands, Split Ends, My Sex, The Angels, there were all sorts of great Australian bands were there, and it was just, I don't know if it was just because it was my first one or what, but it was just a fantastic concert.
That sounds awesome, man. No, I've not heard of any of them. Question 3. What is your favourite song from the new Artist Spotlight playlists?
At the moment, it's How I Miss You by Jane Marie and Jessica Maya, something like that. It's dark and slow, and Jane Marie plays a brilliant keyboard, and Jessica has a great voice. The two of them together, they just blend so really well. I love that song.
Yeah, amazing productions that she has. Question 4 is, if you could go back in time for a day to any point in history, where would you go?
I would go to the Cavern and listen to the Beatles. I visited the Cavern in the 80s and it was closed. I wasn't happy.
No, well, I went to past the Cabin Club a couple of months ago. It's not actually that far from me, Liverpool, and it was like playing trance music really, really loud, and it seemed to have gone downhill a little bit. But never mind. Yeah, but if actually going back in time to the Cabin while the Beatles were playing would be amazing. And question 5 is, if you could spend a day with one other artist from New Artist Spotlight, who would you spend the day with?
There's a lot of them. I won't pick you because everyone picks you.
Rightly so.
I'd have to say Leo, Lofthouse Leo. It wouldn't be boring, that's for sure.
Definitely a character.
Leo kind of took me under his wing as soon as I arrived at NAS and went, "You and me, we're mates." And I went, "Okay, all right, fine."
Yeah, fine by me.
We have been, so yeah.
Oh, that's class. That's really nice, man. It's another great thing, just all the connections, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like I've made a lot of friends from New Artist Spotlight rather than just kind of acquaintances or people you see on Instagram or whatever. I feel like you get to know people a lot better.
Yeah, because
music.
I wasn't on any socials before I started making music, and I couldn't understand how people would want to be in chat groups and stuff. I couldn't think of anything worse. But now I go, oh, okay, now I get it now. If you're in with a group of people who are into the same thing as you, then it makes a big difference. Yeah,
man, totally agree. So yeah, I think that's about all we've got time for today. Thank you for coming on, man. Thanks very much for coming on. And have you got any final messages for anybody who's listening?
No.
Love it, man. There you go. So thank you to everybody who's been listening, and we'll see you all soon. Take it easy and peace out.
Thanks, mate.
New Artist Spotlight.